Hello. Um, Please ignore the Obama sphere in the background. I literally don't know what to put over it, so here we go, Obama sphere. But the thing is, I'm here to talk about some politics, right? You don't usually see me talk about this, or I don't even know if any of you know my channel. I'm an internet person. I know, no. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know if any of the other videos said, but as you know, I am Chinese and I live in China, and I have Tourette's, just to mention. So if I scream or say certain things about feet in this video, I hope that will not trigger anything or to be cancelled. But you know, so I'm here to talk about the U.S.-China problem. Obviously, as a Chinese citizen, I would have rather a neutral view on this topic. So, obviously, every country has, especially superpowers, they all have their issues with, secrets and stuff. Let's take the US here first. The US has a lot of issues, just as China does, right? But the thing about the US is, in the free world, things are not as they seem. Obviously, all the people know US profits off warfare and has global surveillance for peace. Let's say, well, it did work, and even though these seem to be issues, it does boost the United States' effectiveness in the global economy, if that makes any sense at all. Well, China also has its issues, a lot more to be honest. Well, as a Chinese, for myself, I could know that China has manipulation over its media, obviously, and recently over international media as well. Well, I wouldn't say manipulation, but influence and influences. China is a one-party system, as you know, ever since the Civil War. The CCP has been in charge, and right now with the man on the top, it seems that it's a bit of a dictatorship right now, if you know the turmoil and all that stuff. In the name, it's the People's Republic of China. Well, before it's the Republic of China, but now it's the People's Republic. The thing is, ever since China got a taste of power, it hasn't been treating people like people, really. You look at the lockdown, you look at the, you look at the lockdown, you look at the amount of people who died by the lockdown instead of COVID, literally. So that's all done by one person. I mean, it just surprises me that somehow it has come to this. And the other thing about China's flaws is that its people, not the majority of its people, but yes, well, maybe the majority of its people, but the thing is, those people in China carry extreme thoughts that I would compare to, let's say, World War II Japan or Nazi Germany, although I don't think that word is allowed on YouTube. It's very different, but the concept is very similar. Because of the news they've been watching and the information they've been getting, they think all the Western world is bad. I'm not saying the Western world is perfect, the outside world is perfect. Besides the West, there's also the East, like Japan, Korea, Philippines, all that. The thing is, I don't want to say this, but the Chinese, well, these Chinese, this specific group of very extreme Chinese, they consider themselves racially superior, as in all other races should perish. I wouldn't say die, but be beneath them. Alright? So, we know in the States there's racism and all that stuff going on, discrimination. And you see, I use Instagram, of course. When you go to Instagram and you go do a post that has some race thing in it, no matter if it's a meme of Peter Griffin saying that word or if it's something to do with BLM, you always see some comments saying that the U.S. is doomed, or in that manner, alright? My little brain always tells me, whenever somebody says that, they automatically lean towards the East, or any other competitive power besides the U.S., which in this case is China, because Russia don't know what it's doing. Well, the thing is, as I said before, the Chinese are racially... a little group of them thinks that they're racially superior. There is a video that I saw on the internet. This is a subreddit that is dedicated to people like us. Well, now it's disbanded because of DDoSing and things like that, which I do not agree on. There was a video of NBA, I presume basketball players? Yeah, of course, NBA is basketball. They were on a coach in China, I do not know where, but it's reported by Chinese media that there were groups of Chinese men around the bus yelling, "Go home," and followed by that one word I cannot say because that's what my Tourette's can say. The word that starts with N, that is very discriminative towards black people. The thing is, China doesn't even care the slightest shit about U.S. history, about how much slaves have suffered during that period of time. They just, I have people around me. I wouldn't even consider them friends. They make jokes about they make jokes about this word all the time. They say this in Chinese, in English. They say that all the time, and I can just not go and stand it. I just cannot understand why would they do that. Obviously, me being a person that was participating in China on TV, which is now disbanded, as I said before, we also said some extreme stuff about how all the Chinese are, some racial stuff. But the thing is, this is Chinese towards Chinese. Although it is still quite extreme, that I don't understand any of it, but it is Chinese towards Chinese. And I wouldn't say it's tolerable, but considering some of the stuff the Chinese have said, it is, I don't know, to me it kind of equals out. I'm not here to talk about race or anything like that. So as we know, the balloon and everything, I mean the balloon isn't that matters. I don't know what's more funny, the fact they sent a fucking balloon over, or the fact that the US sent a jet to shoot it down. I mean they had to bring a jet because it's too high in the air, so I would understand. The US-China chip war. Only from the day before yesterday I figured out how my country actually functioned in order to gain this position in the world, aka a second superpower. I always thought that the West cracked down China because it simply didn't want it to, let's say, evolve. Well, China isn't an animal, but to gain leadership in this world. The thing is, I always thought so, and always back my country a little bit, but I still stand on the Western side. But now I realize that Vox's video posted, I think it was 2 days ago as well. And it was probably 6 hours when I watched it before I posted. As I said at the start of this video, China manipulates and it uses. I'm not saying this is all bad, or other nations don't use this technique. Obviously, we see US doing that as well. The thing about China is it gained its popularity and its foothold in the second superpower in the world, military and economy-wise, by manipulating and, I wouldn't say control, because the US controls the world right now, but manipulating some aspects of the West and its own people. The microchip video mentioned something about a man. Obviously, I do not remember because my little Tourette's brain is doo-doo. But the thing is, that man was, obviously people know what semiconductors are, and there are machines that make microchips related to semiconductors, or just, there are machines that make semiconductors. That man designed those machines, and at a period of time the US was going to arrest that man because they thought he resided in the US, which he did. But then it was later figured that he is actually in China because China paid him to, let's say, work for them. This is when China and US tensions are high, I presume. If you don't know, just go watch that video, you can search it up. I'm too lazy and I didn't even graduate, so I'm just here talking shit I don't know about. But the thing is, it's weird because it's this whole concept of the CCP's media saying that there are moles inside our country that are being paid by the West. In the end, they are the ones doing it. It's just like that one song made by the Republic of China against communism that got turned around by the communists using to glorify their communism. Well, I mean, I would say Republic of China, but it's Taiwan. But no, I don't like using Taiwan because it's technically a Chinese island, but Republic of China is more sensible for that name. The thing is, I didn't know this, and I would always back my country a little bit on, oh, why would the West do things like that? Now I realized how I really don't want to use the word evil, but manipulative the Chinese really are. Whether the people, the government, I say the people because of the relationships I've been in. The thing is, I don't think I can ever trust China after things like this, especially with the balloon and that video I saw. I don't know, I cannot make personal opinions. So who knows? Maybe China is just trying to thrive. The thing is, it's very obvious at this point that China is trying to go for economy anyway, the global superpower in the economy. And I think at this point, the U.S. is just trying. I don't even know if they're trying anymore because, me personally, any person, any man, not society, any nation, or I don't know, gets a taste in power, they kind of forget their opponents and everything. Well, the thing is, I want the U.S. to worry about China more, but the whole thing about me is I really want my country to change, and not just wanting the West to bust our economy, because in that way I have nowhere to leave, will I? You know, I just it's fucking Obama prison. Jesus, this is fear. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, you know, the Great Translation movement, the White Paper movement, Printer Revolution, these things, they're not influenced by the West. They're just young Chinese people that wants to live a prosperous life, that, you know, go back to the country what it originally was, of course. You know, even after the communists took over, China had a golden age to shine, whether it was Hong Kong or China, or it had a good age, right? I wouldn't always say it was better compared to the West, of course, but it was good. And I remember that time, even though I was born in 2003, it was something different. I'm not blaming anything. It may sound like I'm saying it's all China's fault. It's kind of not, but it's just the way they do things. And the reason I make this video is because I have been very paranoid and I want to see my thoughts out. I don't know if I did because I don't actually keep track of the things I say. So, I guess yeah, just be careful of the Chinese, because me being one, I don't really know what to do anymore. Thank you for listening.